Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to awaken the most powerful faculty gifted to mankind, the power of creative imagination. It is through this force that every dream has ever been born, every fortune ever amassed, and every breakthrough ever achieved. It is creative imagination, the bridge between thought and reality, the workshop of the mind, and the architect of all human progress. Let me take you through 5 keynotes, 5 master principles that will allow you to tap into this infinite power and direct it toward your definite purpose. Before we begin, if you believe in the power of purpose, if you're ready to unlock the hidden potential within your mind, then I invite you to take action right now. Click the like button. It tells the universe you're ready to grow. Subscribe not just to a channel, but to a lifestyle of personal development and progress. Tap the bell icon because success doesn't wait, and neither should your next breakthrough. And share this message with someone whose fire needs a spark, because when you lift others, you rise with them. Now, let's begin this journey of the mind and build the life you were meant to live. Every achievement known to man, every soaring skyscraper, every piece of music that stirred a soul, every empire that ever rose began with one invisible force, a thought. A single intangible spark in the mind of someone who dared to believe in what could be. But understand, these thoughts alone are like unshaped clay. They hold potential, yes, but without direction, without form, they remain mere whispers in the wind. That is where imagination steps in, not ordinary imagination, but creative imagination, the blueprint of destiny. Creative imagination gives your thoughts shape. It is the architect that designs the mansion long before a brick is laid. It is the artist that paints the masterpiece before the brush ever touches canvas. It is the engineer that maps the invention, the author who sees the story before the first word is written. You see, when you close your eyes and begin to see with the inner eye, when you imagine not just what is, but what could be, you activate the very same force used by every inventor, every entrepreneur, every pioneer throughout history. And make no mistake, the moment you begin to visualize your idea, to give it detail, dimension, and direction, it begins to take on a life of its own. The clearer the picture, the stronger the pull. The mind begins to attract the people, the resources, the circumstances that align with that vision. This is not mere poetry. This is principle. Thoughts are things. They are real, living forces. And when charged with belief and shaped by imagination, they become unstoppable. So I ask you, what are you thinking? What are you imagining? Are you letting your thoughts drift like clouds? Or are you using imagination to build a blueprint so clear, so vivid, that your future has no choice but to follow? You are not limited by your current reality. You are only limited by your ability to imagine something greater. Dare to dream it, and then see it, feel it, build it in the workshop of your mind. That's where greatness begins. Deep within you lies a silent partner, always watching, always listening, never sleeping. It is the part of you that never forgets, never questions, and never rejects what you give it. It is your subconscious mind, and it is far more powerful than most ever realize. This mind, this vast reservoir of potential, is like rich, fertile soil. It does not decide what it will grow, it simply accepts what is planted. Good or bad, success or failure, courage or fear, the soil does not discriminate. It only produces in kind what you sow. But what do we plant into this soil? We plant imagination, creative, purposeful, emotionally charged images like seeds. And just as a farmer must choose his crop wisely, so too must you choose what kind of ideas you are planting in your subconscious every day. When you consistently imagine yourself as strong, capable, abundant, successful, when you see it clearly and feel it deeply, your subconscious goes to work, silently, faithfully, powerfully. It begins to shape your beliefs, influence your habits, direct your actions, and magnetize the circumstances that align with your mental image. But beware, because the same principle works in reverse. If you dwell in fear, see only limitation, or imagine failure, that too will take root, that too will grow. The subconscious does not argue with you. It accepts what you repeat, especially when it is delivered through imagination and emotion. That's why idle thoughts are dangerous, and why idle imagination left untended, left in the hands of fear or doubt, can sabotage even the most talented individual. You must become the gardener of your mind. You must plant with intention. See yourself already in possession of the goal. Picture the outcome you desire not vaguely, but vividly. Experience it in your mind as if it were happening right now. Add emotion, add faith, add repetition, because when imagination and emotion come together, the seed becomes alive and the subconscious mind begins to move heaven and earth to make it real. This is not mysticism. This is mental chemistry. This is the same method used by history's most successful men and women, whether they knew it or not. So I ask you now, what are you planting? Will your future harvest be one of fear, regret, and wasted potential? Or will it be one of bold achievement, vibrant success, and dreams made real? The answer lies in your ability to imagine and your willingness to plant with faith. The soil is always ready. The seed is always yours to choose. Every person walking this earth will face adversity. Every dreamer will meet resistance. Every trailblazer will encounter storms on the path to greatness. But the difference between those who rise and those who retreat is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of perspective. You see, what most call a problem is often nothing more than a blessing that has yet to reveal itself. Life, in its mysterious wisdom, does not hand us opportunities wrapped in comfort. No, it disguises them in the garments of difficulty, fear, and uncertainty. But for the man or woman with creative imagination, these disguises are transparent, because they understand every obstacle is an invitation, every setback is a setup, every challenge carries within it the seed of something greater. The world will try to convince you that problems are dead ends, that failure is final. But the truth is, problems are simply signals, signals that growth is near, that the old way must give rise to something new, that your current level of thinking is being stretched so a higher solution can emerge. But you cannot solve tomorrow's problems with yesterday's thoughts. You must call upon the faculty that built bridges where there were only rivers, lit the night where there was once only darkness, flew machines in skies that once belonged to birds. That faculty is creative imagination. It allows you to see beyond the surface, to step outside the panic and ask not, why is this happening to me? But what is this trying to teach me? What new door is this trying to open? When one opportunity falls away, the imaginative mind does not mourn, it starts sketching a better one. When the path is blocked, the imaginative mind builds a staircase. It refuses to sit still in the mud of misfortune. Instead, it creates new ideas, new approaches, new victories. The most successful people in history did not avoid problems, they mastered the art of transforming them. They trained themselves to reframe failure, to expect growth through pain, and to let their imagination lead them through the very moments others ran from. So I challenge you, the next time a problem appears in your life, stop, breathe, and remind yourself, this is not an enemy, this is a door, and my imagination holds the key. Because no problem exists without a solution, and no solution exists without the mind that dares to create it. No one climbs the mountain of success entirely alone. Behind every towering achievement is a network seen or unseen of minds working in harmony. You may have the dream, you may carry the vision, but the fuel that propels you forward often comes from the company you keep. You must understand this. Your environment, especially the people you surround yourself with, is either oxygen for your imagination or poison to your progress. Creative imagination, while personal, is also contagious. It expands in the presence of other minds that dare to think boldly. When you surround yourself with individuals who see possibilities, who speak in visions, who ask not can it be done, but how can we do it better, your own thinking is elevated. Ideas begin to collide, sparks fly, new insights are born in real time, and suddenly what once seemed impossible begins to take shape not through solo effort, but through collaborative energy. This is the power of what some call the mastermind, a fusion of minds in harmony, aligned toward a definite purpose. When two or more people come together with clarity, intention, and belief, they create a third, invisible force, a greater intelligence that neither could access alone. But beware, this principle works both ways. Just as creative energy multiplies among inspired thinkers, negative energy multiplies in the presence of doubt, fear, and small thinking. Spend enough time around those who scoff at imagination, who mock vision, who call your ideas unrealistic. And eventually, your mind begins to shrink to fit their limitations, not because they are right, but because environment influences belief, and belief governs action. So you must choose your circle with intention. Seek out the bold minds, the curious minds, the ones who have not let the world dull their sense of wonder. Find those who will not only support your vision, but challenge it, sharpen it, and expand it. Join conversations that stretch you. Sit at tables where ideas are the currency. Engage with people who are not just thinking, but imagining. And if you cannot find that circle, create it. Start the group. Spark the discussion. Be the leader who unites others around the power of possibility. Because when imaginative minds come together, the limits of one become the strength of many. The lone flame becomes a wildfire. The quiet idea becomes a movement, and that, more than anything, is how revolutions in business, in science, in society, and in self truly begin. You may have a dream so vivid it feels real. You may see it clearly in your mind's eye, the success, the freedom, the impact. You may even feel the surge of belief rising within you, knowing that your imagination has carved out a future full of promise. But let me tell you a truth that separates those who wish from those who win. Imagination without action is illusion. The mind is where vision is born, but the world is where it must be built. No matter how brilliant the idea, how detailed the plan, how inspired the vision, unless you move your feet, nothing changes. Thoughts alone cannot pave roads. Dreams alone cannot build bridges. It is action, and only action, that transforms imagination into reality. You see, the universe does not respond to what you think. It responds to what you do, and the greatest tragedy is not the absence of imagination, it's the failure to act upon it. People will spend years perfecting a plan in their heads, waiting for the right time, the perfect moment, the guaranteed outcome. But that moment never comes. Why? Because imagination does not wait for permission, it demands courageous motion, often in the face of uncertainty. You must step forward while you're still unsure. You must build as you walk. You must be willing to act on faith in your vision, faith in your preparation, and most of all, faith in your ability to figure it out along the way. Do not fall into the trap of thinking and thinking and thinking while doing nothing. That is where dreams go to die, not in failure, but in indecision. Success is not a stroke of luck. It is a rhythm. Think, imagine, act, think again, imagine more clearly, act again. Every time you act, you gain clarity. Every step reveals the next. Every mistake teaches you something imagination alone could not, and action does more than create results, it builds belief. It builds momentum. It turns fear into focus. Confidence does not come from sitting still, it comes from doing, from proving to yourself that you are more capable than you imagined. So I urge you now, whatever idea you've been holding, whatever vision you've been nursing, take the first step. However small, however uncertain, move, start, begin, because imagination is the blueprint, yes, but action is the hammer and nails. Action is the foundation. Action is what makes the invisible visible. Let others wait, let others dream. You, my friend, you are a builder, and builders don't just imagine the future, they create it. In closing, I remind you, you are the master of your fate because you are the master of your mind. And your imagination is the compass, the map, and the vessel. Use it, cultivate it, protect it, feed it, and above all, believe in it, because the world doesn't need more logic. It needs more vision. It needs your creative imagination. Thank you.